I was doing an experiment. I was a postdoc at the time, and I was doing an experiment. I was running pigs on a treadmill. I had a series of mini pigs. They were genetically similar, inbred mini pigs, and we were running them. I was running them on treadmills and to do an experiment on the effects of mechanical loading on skeleton versus the head. And this professor, Dennis Bramble, who was on sabbatical at Harvard, walked into the room, and he just kind of watched me running this pig on a treadmill, which is, after a while, it's kind of boring to run a pig on a treadmill. And he pointed out something I hadn't really thought about, which is that the pig, when it was running, its head was flopping all over the place. Like I see you have a dog behind you. When a dog runs on a treadmill, and he had been working on locomotor respiratory coupling, dogs, when they run, they can hold their head like a missile, but a pig can't. And we're pretty good at it too, but we don't have the adaptations your dog has. Your dog has a cantilevered head, so its neck sticks out backwards from its head and forwards from its trunk. So when it's running, it can flex and extend its neck and keep its head really still. But we can't do that because we're bouncing up and down with a tiny little neck in the middle of our heads. And if you watch somebody with a ponytail, for example, that ponytail goes up and down, side to side when they're running, yet they manage to keep their heads pretty still. And how do they do that? And it turns out that this structure called the nuchal ligament, which is in the midline in the back of your head, attaches to a muscle called the cleidocranial trapezius, which attaches to your arm. And so when you hit the ground, your arm falls down, your head falls forward. You turn on that muscle just before that happens, and the mass of your arm balances the mass of your head. And so it's what's called a tuned mass damper. So it's a passive system. And the cool thing is that Bramble and I, when we were talking about this hypothesis, we went into the lab and we started looking at fossils, and we realized that the trace of that nuchal ligament first shows up in the genus Homo 2 million years ago. And that led to us really thinking and talking a lot about the evolution of running and that it was tied to the evolution of the genus Homo. And that led eventually to that paper that we published in 2004, though it took us a long time to write the paper. So that was, it was the nuchal ligament that got me started on all of this.